I'm Dan Baer with California Survival School and survivallife.com. Thanks for coming out today, guys. We have a good class for you. Today what we're going to cover is what most people would consider the ultimate or most necessary survival skill. That's up for call, but I think it's one of my most favorite, and what we're going to cover today is friction fire. And so there are over 30 different methods of friction fire found around the world, and they all involve a certain process of wood or dense fiber plant material rubbing together, and through a process of the wood rubbing together, breaking down into small wood dust particles, mixing with oxygen, and touching a heat source that you get through rubbing the wood together, you're going to get fire. And so that's what we're looking to do here today, is understand the mechanics, the physics of this process, as well as what materials we need to make this work. I'm going to go more heavy on the physics right now, and we'll actually, in another video, if you stay tuned here at survivallife.com, you'll see how we can take these things and just go out and we'll harvest a kit completely using no modern materials and get this working. But today, before you get that far, you need to understand how to just get the physics down and get your materials shaped and use the right materials to actually get the process. So my materials need to be three things. For the actual parts that are making fire, I need my materials to be soft woods or soft plant fibers. There's different types of stuff that's not really wood that you can use. But what I mean by soft is I can run a fingernail across that stuff and I'm gonna have a nice dent. You guys probably can't see that on camera, but I can see it up here visually. And since I'm out in the field, that's what matters. So what I'm looking for is material that I can run a finger across the wood grain, and I'm going to have a nice dent in there, or I could bite it and I'll have a nice dent. Either way, that means that the wood fibers are soft enough to where if I put some pressure on there and grind them, they're going to break down into nice wood dust. This wood is like pre-fuel. It's not really fuel yet. Once we grind it down into wood dust, they can mix with oxygen and ignite. We're set to go. As far as materials go. So what we need to do that, we need a board that's going to work, we need a spindle that's going to work. You'll see stuff all over the internet about which one should be harder or different types of wood work better. Forget the species, forget all that stuff. What I want you to focus on is what makes it work. I want you to be able to walk down a creek bed, look at any piece of wood that's lying around and be able to just go test it for the characteristics that make it work. So I don't care what it is. It could be oak, it could be all kinds of stuff people say are horrible for fire. If it's been sitting there baking in the sun in the creek bed and the fibers are loosening up, you can get fire with oak. You just need to go out and test the materials and see what's going to be in the right parameters. You know it's too hard when you can't dent it. You know it's too soft when it falls apart on you when you're trying to make your kit. So it needs to be softwood, it needs to be dry. Obviously, you know, the drier the wood, the better, the easier it is to make it work. And you need to have wood that's not resinous or sappy. If you got a bunch of sap on there, when you're rubbing that wood together, it's gonna polish instead of break down the fibers you need. So soft, dry, not sappy. Knowing that stuff, you are equipped now to go out and to start experimenting with materials to get friction fire once you understand the physics. So these are the two key pieces, 30 different methods around the world. These two pieces, a fireboard and a spindle, play into most of them. You need to have two pieces of wood that are rubbing together. Aside from that, stuff that's not going to burn. For this method, the bow drill method, one of the easier methods to learn for friction fire, what we need is a stick that's about as long as our arm. We need it to be about okay thickness, you know, about an inch thick, something that's generally not flexible, something that's going to hold together. People like to tweak this a bit. Once you know the rules, sometimes you can break them. There are different ways to do this, but for someone who's learning, that's how I would suggest you do it. So arm long, inch thick, something that's not going to break, something sturdy. Your string, whatever you're going to use, you want it to be, I generally find 4 to 5 adult fingers to be the right distance from your bow to make sure that you have enough play to get your spindle in, but it's not going to be so loose that it won't move it. The only way to really test is to give it a test. And so I'm going to stick my spindle in there. I want my spindle to come on the outside of my bow. By outside, it's not running in here. You have a lot less play, a lot less, you can't use the bow as effectively if it's in here. You want it on the outside, so you have much more of a run on the outside. This works much easier if you can use the full length of the bow. More RPMs, the better. So that's what we're going to be doing here. We Once we have this set up, another piece that we need is a handhold. This keeps the spindle from burning a hole through the center of your hand. Can't really hold on to it unless you have something to brace here. So we have this set up to brace, and then we need something to catch our coal. On these pieces, this board's been used multiple times. If I was going to use one of these holes again, instead of making one from scratch, I'd have the leaf catch under here to catch the dust that's going to build up. The only place that you can get fire on this entire board is right here, where you can see air through the hole in here. You need to have a notch that cuts into the center of where you're drilling in. If you don't have a proper notch, the wood dust that's piling up from where you guys are rubbing things together is gonna be off to the side somewhere, not coming in contact with the hot part of your spindle. You can't get fire unless three things can come together. You need the fuel, you need the oxygen, and you need the heat to all mix. A good notch on there allows that to happen. So I cut that notch. You make sure it goes at least through dead center. And so when you have that notch set in there, after we get our initial burn in, that's going to be huge. So right now, since we're starting over, I got to get a good burn in. I got to make sure that my spindle and my fireboard are set up, that they're a match set, that they're working good together, and that I can keep them stable enough to get it hot enough and fast enough to get a fire.